Hey guys, today is Wednesday, October 3rd, and stuff has been going well. I feel like I'm finally getting into the swing of things. I'm aware that we're a month into classes, but it's kind of taken me a while this time around, but whatever. I feel really good because I did a lot of work today and I cleaned my room yesterday, so I'm on a roll right now. I'm gonna do laundry tonight. I'm gonna be ambitious. But all in all, it's been nothing too interesting has happened. It was a pretty uneventful weekend. I didn't really do anything of note. Just hung out with my friends and went out a couple times, but just really chill stuff. I'm starting midterms this week. I have a take-home midterm that's being distributed on Friday, and I have two next week on the same day, which is going to be a hoot and a half, but whatever. I'm not that nervous though because my easy round is first, so I'm just I don't know. I feel like I'm in a good place. I did a chapter of reading today, so I'm feeling good. Checking that off the list. I had to do an assignment today for bio because I'm an idiot and it was really last minute because it was actually due today, even though she told us about it 3 weeks ago. But it was due at 11:59 tonight. So I did it a couple hours ago. And basically, it was a really easy assignment. It's current events, essentially. You just pick a biology-related article and then, talk about the science, talk about who did it, and talk about why it's reliable. And so it took me no more than an hour to do. And I found an article on BBC about black mambas. And I thought this was fascinating, so I'm going to have a nerdy moment. Basically, what they discovered was there is a painkiller in black mamba venom that is as potent as morphine without any messy, addictive after effects. So you, don't go into any form of withdrawal afterwards. I thought this was the coolest thing ever. So I kind of want to follow up on that because that sounds really interesting. So, yeah, nerdy things all over the place. You should look up the article. It's on BBC. So there was that. I've been keeping up with Quidditch. I am sore and I'm happy, and I shed my first drop of blood by elbowing some girl in the face. It was an accident. She's okay, but I think what happened was I elbowed her in the mouth. So that's I think that's from a tooth, and that's a nasty bruise around it. That's not just my elbow, just in case that was unclear. And it actually really hurts, but I'm sure she got the worst end, so I really ought not to complain. So there's that. Oh, and our next practice, we're having a kid come from the football team to teach us how to tackle properly. Who's going to the hospital this week? It's probably going to be me. What else? Oh yeah, I went shopping last Friday, which was amazing. Me and Vinny went out and got shoes and dresses, and it was a lot of fun because I've been shopping in a while, and I just had a really girly day. It was a lot of fun. And finally, probably the most interesting thing that's happened. So for a couple of my English classes, I'm taking Intro to Theater. That's one of them, and you have conferences for most of your English classes, which means that basically you get separated into smaller groups and you see your TA in a separate class, which takes the place of one class during your schedule. So instead of being in a lecture, you're with your TA and you're just in a smaller concentrated group, so you can talk about the text more in depth, and if you have questions, it'll be easier. So I was in my conference, and we were talking about Italian theater and the beginning of Italian theater and the model for it, and how many comedies today kept true to that form. And so basically, to get an idea of how these actors worked, we basically did improv. Our TA borrowed masks from the costume department, really authentic looking masks, and we were each given a typical character. There's Brigella, there's Arlecchino, there's Pulcinella, there's Il Dottore. I'm not going to explain them all because it's going to take forever. And basically what happens is, you get a character and then you get a situation. So I was a young lover, and the other kids in my group, it was Pulcinella, no, Il Dottore and Pulcinella. And the Pulcinella is a creepy old man who helps the young lovers. And then Il Dottore is usually a parent figure of the young lover. So basically, and the situation was a nightclub. So basically, what we did was I went to a nightclub, and the bartender's my confidant, and he's the creepy old man. He's trying to help me find my lover from across the bar. And then my father comes because he notices I've snuck out. It was just so silly. And the kids, because I did theater for so long, one would figure that I would have done this reasonably well. I'm horrible at improv. I just can't do it. I've never been good at it. And there were some other kids that were amazing. Like, I was laughing so hard because they did such a good job. And I was like, okay, all right, I can't do this. But it was so much fun. And the masks were amazing. And it was actually a really, really fun conference. I kind of hope we do it again, even though it was really, really nerve-wracking. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing really happened. Oh, by the way, you know that entire hala I had last week, it's gone. I gave one to my friends, and me and Vinny just had one here. Finished it. Healthy kids. All right, that's it for now. I love you guys, and I hope to hear from you soon. Ta-ta!